Hello, this is the Irish Guy Extra, and I know, I've already done a whole video about this on the main channel, but I don't care. I'm still absolutely buzzing like a crazy little bee. I can't believe it. I actually can't believe what just happened yesterday. I want to bask in it a bit more. I want to milk this. I want to milk this like the weirdest farmer you've ever seen who gets too creepy with his cows. I am sorry. But Troy Parrott is an absolute legend. He's just immortalized himself into Irish folklore history forever and ever and ever. I love him. I absolutely love the guy, okay? I'll be honest, I had given up on Troy Parrott a little bit because I remember being buzzed about him 5 years ago when he was almost scoring for Spurs in preseason friendlies. That's it. That's literally all he did. And I remember being so gassed because he nearly put one past Buffon. Buffon saved it, and yet still, we all gassed him up back home. And then he gets, not given a chance to Spurs. And when I say not given a chance, I mean 2 games in the Premier League totaling a grand total of 6 minutes. Troy Parrott has only played 6 minutes more of Premier League football than your granny. That is an absolute disgrace, okay? Not given a chance by Spurs, was kind of failed out on loan, but so did Harry Kane. Does no one remember him being a fat chunk of broccoli at Norwich? So I'd kind of given up on Parrott, especially when he, couldn't get past an Evan Ferguson in the Ireland team who has not scored a goal in club football in over a year. But now, I'm sorry, 5 goals in 2 games, 2 against Portugal, 3 against Hungary. Are you kidding me? Parrott has become a worldwide sensation. And if he didn't, if no one in other countries are clued up on him yet, get to know Troy Parrott. I can't believe what just happened. I cannot believe, lads. When I was watching that game yesterday, I was scared. It was a must-win game against Hungary away from home. What nations do we beat away from home? Azerbaijan and Luxembourg, if we're lucky. And if we're lucky, because I remember when we did beat Luxembourg 3-0 in a cute little orange shirt a couple of years ago, we'd also lost to them at home in the return. I mean, we've been dreadful. But yesterday, this is what football is all about. This is what international football is all about. I know, okay, there might be a bit of a disconnect between England fans and the England national team. I know there is, okay? I live in England, and I know Geordies don't give 2 waffles about the England team. Same with Scousers. I'm guessing the Manchester fans struggle to get up for it too. It's because I think with England, because there's so many superstars from so many other teams, you're used to hating a lot of these players. Like, Man United fans suddenly having to cheer on Gerrard at World Cups. I remember when I interviewed AFTV about 2018, I remember asking Robbie, how did it feel when, who was it? When Harry Kane was scoring against Tunisia at the 2018 World Cup. Like, could he lose himself at the moment? How did it feel? Did he feel a bit dirty? And he would have done, because there was that, it's like, I don't know, with English fans, you still have that club rivalry deep-rooted, even amongst the players. They used to have it, and definitely the fans. So, yeah, I mean, it's different when there's an expectation, because there's so many world-class players in the England team. It sort of feels less personal. But with Ireland, lads, we're always the underdog, and we don't have players playing for top-class teams in title fights. No, like literally, we had a player on the pitch yesterday who I was so frustrated with, thin as ass. Okay, in that first half, thankfully, there was no watch-along, because I was absolutely cussing him out of the place, saying he was no more talented than a squashed banana. I genuinely thought he was useless. And it really annoyed me that we had plenty of Southampton players in the squad when Southampton are circling the drain, on course to get relegated to League One if they're not careful. Like, we don't have world-class superstars in our team. We don't even have one. We barely have good players in our team. So like, I was hopeful that there might be a miracle in Hungary, but I wasn't expecting it. See, with England fans, I think England expect to win, and then they get let down. We don't expect nothing. We hope. So to beat Portugal and Hungary back-to-back after a dour, uninspiring 1-0 home win over Armenia. And lads, people like to pretend that Armenia are good. They ain't good. Yesterday, they let in 9 against a Portugal team who didn't even have their best, well, Okay, I stopped myself there because Ronaldo's no longer the best player. I actually don't even think Ronaldo should start for Portugal. But Roberto Martinez is a wimp who probably blushes whenever Ronaldo says hello. So yeah, I mean, you tell that bald chicken nugget to drop Ronaldo, he ain't gonna listen to you, because whenever Ronaldo stares at him, he feels every inch the former Motherwell player he used to be. But yeah, no, Armenia are not good. So that, yeah, when they beat us and then when we toiled to a 1-0 home win, I'll be honest, that win over Armenia felt like too little, too late. Like, because we'd have had to beat Portugal and Hungary back to back. How did we do this? When Troy Parrott scored that 96th minute winner last night, one of the greatest moments I've ever had in my life. I went absolutely bananas. I did a recreation of that on the main channel video, but lads, it was just, these sort of things aren't supposed to happen to people like me. And if you're an Ireland fan, to people like you. I grew up supporting Newcastle and Ireland. They're my two football teams, okay? And boy, have I been at rock bottom moments before. A lot of rock bottom moments. I said on the other channel, back in 2009, we lost that World Cup playoff to France. That was my only shred of football hope. Getting to a World Cup, the 2010 World Cup, that was my only bit. Because Newcastle, I had just seen them relegated. We were in the championship and sure, winning matches, but a few weeks earlier we lost away to Blackpool and Scunthorpe and 3-0 against Derby County. Those results are absolutely seared into my brain. That was 2009. That was a rough year for football. Most years have been rough years for football, to be honest. Honestly, you could pick any year at random and I could tell you two absolutely revolting results for Newcastle and Ireland. 2012. 2013, we lose 6-1 at home to Germany. And also the same year we lost 6-0 at home to Liverpool as a Newcastle fan. Like, are you mad? Like, are you kidding me? 2013, or was it 20? Either way, within the space of 6 months, I saw both my club and my country concede 6 at home. Like, that's me. That is the Irish guy in terms of his football fandom. Being let down time and time and time again by supporting absolute rubbish. But I did, and you've got to hang in there. I see so many people who've given up on international football over the years. I saw Craig off Anfield Agenda said that. He said that he gave up on international football. But this is why you can't do that. This is why you cannot turn your back on your club or your country at any point, because you could be rewarded with the mother of all epic years. This year, lads, I have seen my rubbish club, a team who I were laughed at for my whole childhood for supporting. I've seen them win a trophy, okay, beating the champions of England in the final. And I've also just seen my country get through the World Cup playoff for the last-minute winner after beating Portugal days before with Troy Parrott, a guy I championed as a kid and who then disappeared into the wilderness when Spurs never gave him a chance. I saw him score 5 in 2 matches. Are you kidding me? And now he's got Dublin Airport named after him. Wow! This is just epic. It's amazing, lads. It's just, I can't believe this. I can't believe what I watched yesterday. It's amazing. This isn't supposed to happen to people like me. This isn't. This is just football joy overload. I feel like I'm going to faint any minute. This is supposed to be like how a diabetic feels when he eats 12 Freddos in a row. Like, this is nuts. This is incredible. I hoped that we might do something yesterday, but I'll be honest, at 2-1 down with 10 minutes left, it looked bleaker than an episode of Emmerdale. Like, it was just, we needed 2 goals in the final 10 minutes. Anamida actually scooped in an equaliser with half an hour left, and I whooped and cheered when that went in, because there was still enough time to find a winner. But when that was then rolled out, and then when Parrot scored a very similar goal, lobbying the keeper, I didn't cheer that. I sat there on the edge of my seat, very tense, saying, "Come on, let's do this." But I knew there wasn't enough time left to score a winning goal, so I didn't go mad, because I knew it was going to be fruitless if I did, because like, for the last 10 minutes, I was thinking in my head, I was trying to prepare myself for a really gloomy ending. In my head, I was like, okay, this is going to be a 2-2 draw, a good result on paper, but not enough, and you're going to have to cope with, you're just trying to have to get your head around the fact that it's going to be another painful night as an Irish fan. And lads, painful nights as an Irish fan and as a Newcastle fan, they are seared into my brain. I remember being a kid, right, and being on the verge of tears when we drew 0-0 at home with Switzerland. Now, on the face of it, that's like a nothing result. Like, why would you remember that goalless draw with Switzerland? No, I remember that because it fully meant we could not get to the 2006 World Cup. That felt painful. It felt really painful. I remember qualifying for Euro 2008. That was just a mess. I mean, we lost 5-2 to Cyprus. Needed a last-minute equaliser to not lose to them at home. Needed a last-minute winner to beat San Marino. Like, are you kidding me? There was no hope we were qualifying for that, so it didn't feel... It just felt laughably bad. Like, there was never a chance of qualifying. Obviously, for the 2010 World Cup, the Hungary handball, gutted. But I wasn't, like, devastated. I was angry. I'm very angry for the next 15 years of my life. I'm still angry, guys. Yeah, that handball absolutely spoiled the lore of Thierry Henry for me, because I loved Henry as a player. I did, and I want to be like the rest of you who bask in Henry mania. I would love that, but I just can't. I can't see past that handball. A bit like how English fans never really appreciated Maradona after the handball. Like, yeah, that was painful, but more of an angry pain. And then after that, what was it? Qualifying? No, we got to Euro 2012. Absolutely flopped in the group stage. But then again, we were given Italy and Croatia and Spain in that group, so cut us a bit of slack. I mean, I've seen all three in a World Cup final since. Well, not since. I mean, Italy were just before that. But like, I've seen all three play in a World Cup final. I will never see Ireland do that. So let's be real. That group stage was that was tough, to be fair. And then qualifying for the 2014 World Cup, again, got smashed 6-1 by Germany, so we're never going to do that. And then we get to Euro 2016. That was a great tournament. That was the best. Like, that Robbie Brady goal to score against Italy to get us out of the group stage. That was amazing. An epic moment in Irish sport. And to see Robbie Brady almost in tears after the final whistle, it was amazing. Although you will get some cynics who want to absolutely pour poo on our toast by telling us, oh, well done, you beat Italy's B team in a game that they didn't even need to win, and you just finished third in the group. Yeah, well, we really gave ourselves a massive pat on the back just because we didn't finish bottom of the group. Well, I mean, to be fair, UEFA made it so easy for everyone to kind of get out of that group that if you didn't, then you really were absolute pudding pies. But, no, that was amazing, the Euro 2016. And then World Cup 2018, that was gutting. 1-0 up against Denmark in the playoffs, World Cup playoff second leg, and we end up getting absolutely crushed 5-1. That was rough. And then what's happened since then? We haven't really been in anything. I'm not close to it. I mean, we were in the semi-final. We were in the semi-final of a playoff for the Euros and lost on penalties to Slovakia. Probably for the best, because we would have been an absolute embarrassment at that Euros. Because that era of Stephen Kenny football was so hideously bleak. Honestly, lads. So this is why moments like this just feel so epic. Because we've been down in the dumps so much. But it's nights like this, it's afternoons like this which reward you for your sticking with the football and just hoping, not believing that things will be different. Because, lads, I'm sorry, 4 years ago we lost at home to Luxembourg. 2 months ago, we lost to Armenia. There's belief. I mean, if I believed Ireland would get to the World Cup after that, then fully, people should have yanked me away by men in white coats and thrown me into the local loony bin. Because there was no reason for hope after that. But I'm sorry, the reaction since... Heimir Hallgrimsson, I love you. I absolutely do. This guy, he masterminded Iceland's win over England at the Euros. I found that funny. I found that hilarious. It was like, a funny afternoon of cackling and laughing at England's multi-million-pound prima donnas get absolutely slapped in the face. It was funny, but I thought that's where my relationship with Hallgrimsson would end. I did not think that 9 years later he'd be masterminding us to a World Cup play. It's absolutely mad. However, the only thing I will say is that I've just did a bit of research, and by research I mean clicking on Wikipedia, because I was scared of like researching how the playoffs were structured or whatever, because I didn't want to think too far ahead. But I've done that now, and it's not one team we have to beat to get to the World Cup; it's two. There's a semi-final playoff, and then there's a final playoff. So we're still quite far away, but okay, look, I've already said it. I don't want Italy. That's the only team. Anyone else, bring on the Albania, bring on the Bosnia, bring on the Kosovo. Just not Italy, please. This is a country so desperate to get to the World Cup, and I mean it reeks of desperation. Like a middle-aged loner looking for his first kiss in a nightclub at the age of 47. Like, absolutely, that's what Italy are right now. They reek of it. They're on the verge of 3 World Cups in a row where they don't qualify. Gennaro bear in mind, this is a guy who won the World Cup as a player. He's already got legend status in Italy, despite definitely looking like, the grumpy one in the Snow White family. I'm sorry, Gattuso just looks he looks like one of Gimli's mates in Lord of the Rings, like one of the angry ones in the new Lord of the Rings reboot, The Rings of Power. Like, he's a crazy little guy. But make no mistake about it, if he joins the who was the absolute donut who failed to get Italy to the 2018 World Cup? What was his name? What was it? It was some weird guy. What was it? It was like someone. It was someone you'd be shocked that he actually was the Italy manager. Who was it? Who was it? Who was it, guys? I know there's people screaming at the screen right now. I can see it. What's his name? I'm looking for his name. What was his name? Ventola. That was it, right? Ventola? Is that? Let me just double check. That was his name. Ventura. Ace Ventura. That was it. Gian Piero Ventura. Yeah, an absolute journeyman manager who, destroyed his managerial career after failing to get Italy to the World Cup. And then for the 22, that was Mancini, right? After the Euros, failing to get them there. So Mancini would have diluted his legend status in Italy. But Gattuso, I mean, if he does it, he's already a crazy journeyman manager anyway. It only lasts 3 minutes in every job he's ever had. So if Italy don't get there, the knives are going to be out for Gattuso. And he's fully going to turn into that, deranged Tasmanian devil cartoon figure. So I'm scared of Italy. Please don't give us Italy. Please give us anyone else an easy semi-final and a final. And then, if I actually get to see Ireland at the World Cup as a full adult with hair on my armpits, wow! Anyway, that's the video. Oh, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. But if you enjoyed the video, I'll see you in a while. Yeah!